What is 16 and 3 multiplied? Asked the teacher. The boy blinked. The teacher persisted and the boy promptly answered, 24. With, as it seemed to the teacher, a wicked smile on his lips. The boy evidently was trying to fool him and was being contrary on purpose. He had corrected this error repeatedly, and now the boy persisted in saying 24. How could this fellow be made to obtain 50 in the class test and go up by the double promotion to the first form as his parents fondly hoped? At the mention of 24, the teacher felt his blood rushing to his head. He controlled himself and asked again, how much? As a last chance. When the boy obstinately said the same, he felt as if his finger were releasing the trigger. He reached across the table and delivered a wholesome slap on the youngster's cheek. The boy gazed at him for a moment and then burst into tears. The teacher now regained his normal vision, felt appalled by his own action, and begged frantically, don't cry, little fellow, you mustn't. I will tell them, sobbed the boy. Oh, no, 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 appealed the teacher. He looked about cautiously. Fortunately, this nursery was at a little distance from the main building. I'll tell my mother, said the boy. According to the parents, the boy was a little angel, all dimples and smiles and sweetness, only wings lacking. He was their only child. They had abundant affection and ample money. They built a nursery, brought him expensive toys, fitted up miniature furniture sets, gave him a small pedal motor car to go about all over the garden. They filled his cupboard with all kinds of sweets and biscuits and left it to his good sense to devour them moderately. They believed a great deal in leaving things that way. You must never set up any sort of contrariness or repression in the child's mind, declared the parents. You will damage him for life. It no doubt requires a lot of discipline on our part, but it is worth it, they declared primly. We shall be bringing up a healthy citizen. Yes, yes, the teacher agreed outwardly, feeling more and more convinced every day that what the little fellow needed was to make him a normal citizen was not cajoling, but an anna's worth of cane, for which he was prepared to advance the outlay. To the teacher, it was a life of utter travail. The only relieving feature in the whole business was the 30 rupees they paid him on every first day. It took him in all 3 hours every evening, of which the first half an hour he had to listen to child psychology theories of the parents. The father had written a thesis on infant psychology for his MA, and the lady had studied a great deal of it for her BA. They lectured to him every day on their theories, and he got more and more the feeling that they wanted him to deal with the boy as if he were made of thin glass. He had to pretend that he agreed with them, while his own private view was that he was in charge of a little gorilla. Now the teacher did not know how to quieten the boy, who kept sobbing. He felt desperate. He told the youngster, you must not cry for these trifling matters. You must be like a soldier. A soldier will shoot with a gun if he is hit, said the boy in reply. The teacher treated it as a joke and laughed artificially. The boy caught the infection and laughed too. This eased the situation somewhat. Go and wash your face, suggested the teacher. A fine blue porcelain closet was attached to the nursery. The boy disobeyed and commanded, close the lessons today. The teacher was aghast. No, no, he cried. Then I will go and tell my mother, threatened the boy. He pushed the chair back up and got up. The teacher rushed to him and held him down. My dear fellow, I am to be here for another hour. The boy said, all right, watch me put the engine on its rails. If your father comes in, said the teacher, tell him it's an engine lesson, said the boy, and he smiled maliciously. He went over to his cupboard, opened it, took out a train set, and started assembling the track. He wound the engine and put it down, and it went round and round. You are the station master, proclaimed the boy. No, no, cried the teacher. You have your test day after tomorrow. The boy merely smiled in a superior way and repeated, will you be the station master or not? The teacher was annoyed. I won't be the station master, he said defiantly. Whereupon the young fellow said, oh, is that what you say? He gently touched his cheek and murmured, "It's paining me here awfully. I must see my mother." He made a movement towards the door. The teacher watched him with dull desperation. The boy's cheek was still red. So he said, "Don't, boy. You want me to be the station master? I will do it." What shall I have to do?" The boy directed. "When the train comes to your station, you must blow the whistle and cry, 'Engine driver, stop the train.' There are a lot of people today who have brought tickets." The teacher hunched up in a corner and obeyed. He grew tired of the position and the game in 30 minutes and got up, much to the displeasure of his pupil. Luckily for him, the engine also suddenly refused to move. The boy handed it to him as he went back to his seat and said, "Repair it, sir." He turned it about in his hand and said, "I can't. I know nothing about it." "It must go," said the boy firmly. The teacher felt desperate. He was absolutely non-mechanical. He could not turn the simplest screw if it was to save his life. The boy stamped his foot impatiently and waited like a tyrant. The teacher put it away definitely with, "I can't and I won't." The boy immediately switched on to another demand. "Tell me a story." "You haven't done a sum. It's 8:30. "I don't care for sums," said the boy. "Tell me a story." "No." The boy shouted. "Appa, Appa." "Why are you shouting like that for your father?" "I have something to tell him. Something important." The teacher was obliged to begin the story of a bison and a tiger, and then he passed on to Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves and Aladdin's lamp. The boy listened, rapt, and ordered, "I want to hear the story of the bison again." "It is good." The teacher was short of breath. He had done 6 hours of teaching at school during the day. "Tomorrow, I've lost all my breath." "All right, I'll go and tell," exclaimed the boy. And he got up and started running all of a sudden towards the house. And the teacher started after him. The boy was too fast for him, wheeled about madly, and made the teacher run around the garden thrice. The teacher looked beaten. The boy took pity on him and stopped near the rose bush. But the moment he went up and tried to put his hand on him, the boy darted through and ran off. It was a hopeless pursuit. The boy enjoyed it immensely, laughing fiendishly. The teacher's face was flushed and he gasped uncomfortably. He felt a darkness swelling up around him. He sank down on the portico step. At this moment, mother and father emerged from the house. "What's the matter?" The teacher struggled up to his feet awkwardly. He was still panting badly and could not talk. He had already made up his mind that he would confess and take the consequence, rather than stand the blackmail by this boy. It seemed less forbidding to throw himself at the mercy of elders. They looked inquiringly at the boy and asked, "Why have you been running about in the garden at this hour?" The boy looked mischievously at the teacher. The teacher cleared his throat and said, "I will explain." He was trying to find words for the sentence. The father asked, "How is he preparing for his test in arithmetic?" On hearing the word test, the boy's face fell. He unobtrusively slunk behind his parents and by look and gestures appealed to the teacher not to betray him. He looked so pathetic and desperate that the teacher replied, "Only please let him mug up the 16th table a little more. He's all right. He'll pull through." The boy looked relieved. The teacher saw his grateful face, felt confident that the boy would not give him up now, and said, "Good night, sir. We finished our lessons early, and I was just playing about with the child. Something to keep up his spirits, you know." Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, share it with your friends and please give me a thumbs up. For more cool and awesome content, please subscribe my channel. Thank you.